Hey, so I wanted to come live today. Hello, how are you doing? I'm doing good. I hope you're doing well too. So I wanted to come on live today to do a little bit of an astrology video to talk about the cycle of the zodiac signs and just to kind of give a deeper understanding of what the cycle actually means and what energetic signature each sign carries in the cycle of life. So, we know the zodiac signs in kind of a commercial popularized way that's not very deep and that's not very expanded on. However, astrology, I mean, obviously I don't know who I'm talking to, so I'm not going to assume that you don't know astrology, but in a general sense, the astrology that is publicized, even in apps and so on, apps are getting deeper. I'm seeing things getting deeper, trying to give more understanding of what astrology is really about. But in a general sense, most people don't know what astrology is about. They think that the only sign that they have is their sun sign, and that's mostly recognized as a star sign. But that sun sign is the sign of your ego, let's say. It's the sign of your manifestation of the life that you manifest in this body with the soul. I mean, yeah, with your soul, but in this body that you currently have in this lifetime. So, yeah, that's not the only sign that you have. You have a sign for every single planet, and you have a sign for every single celestial body. So, for every asteroid, you also have a sign for particular points that have been calculated to be significant because of the angles that they make. And angles are a big part of astrology. Anyway, that's not really what I'm going to talk about right now. Point is that you have a sign for all these things, and the sign that each one of these planets or placements um, have is one of those 12 signs of the zodiac. So those 12 signs that we know. So the 12 signs are Aries, Taurus, Gemini, what's his face? Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. And so these 12 signs, 1 plus 2 equals 3. Numerology is, of course, woven into astrological understanding. Every single spiritual practice, whether you consider spiritual or not, every calculation is a calculation of the energy that moves through this world, this physical world that we live in. Physical, but also metaphysical, message physical. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, it's oh my God, I'm live. This is the longest I've been live, I think. No, maybe not. No. Anyway, okay, right. So these signs, let me try to find what the hell I was just saying. Yeah, these calculations, they're all tied into the same thing. They're all tied into just understanding the energetic signature that is playing out in this instance. So anyway, these 12 signs, as I was saying, And the number 12 is repeated in many different belief systems, like the 12 disciples in Christianity. You have the 12 animals in, what do you call it, in Buddhism. There's more 12s that I'm currently not thinking of. So, I encourage myself and other people to go look for other 12s. How often do we see this 12? Very often. So, anyway, yeah, so these 12 signs that I just named are the components of the cycle of life. We make one full resolution and we've come back around. So the first sign is Aries. And so it's important to just understand the energy of the sign itself, regardless of whatever planet it's playing out in. So, for instance, I am a Sagittarius, my sun is in Sagittarius. My moon sign is in Aries. Someone else's moon sign could be in Capricorn, or their ascendant sign or their rising sign could be in Aquarius. So, they would still have a sun sign, but then they also have those other signs, and those other signs of planets, those other planetary placements are also part of the energetic signature that's playing out inside of them, and that they're manifesting in this life, that they're living in this body, in this lifetime, right? So it's important just to understand what the sign itself means, and then you understand how it's acting upon a planetary energy, because the planet itself has its own energy. It has a function. So planets have a function. They they serve a certain function, and the sign tells you how that function is going to play out. So I said earlier, my voice has a rusty situation going. I said earlier that uh, uh, I said earlier that the sun is, in a nutshell, your ego. It is what you manifest in this lifetime. It is your externalization of yourself in this world is going to play out through that sign. So, me, to use that example, it's going to be in a Sagittarius way. You, who's an Aquarius, maybe you're going to manifest these things in an Aquarius fashion. You externalize yourself in an Aquarius fashion. But then that's your sun sign. But then you have other planetary, oh my God, my voice. Then you have other planetary placements. Okay, this isn't water, but it's liquid. My God. Ah, right. So you have other planetary placements that are different functions of your personality that will play out differently. And that's going to modify your personality and make it more specific, to you. Which is why, for instance, now in the general sense, in the general way that astrology is understood, the commercialized way, I'm a little bit of a snob about it. Not that I know the most about astrology, but I am enough of a snob about it to be like, okay, like astrology is deeper than that. Yeah. So, in that general superficial way that astrology is publicized, not to say that I'm not superficial myself, okay? Um, what is just understood is your sun sign, but then you have all these other right, yeah, what's just understood is your sun sign, and then as a result people can say things like, well, I don't really feel like I'm an Aquarius, so astrology is full of shit. Well, it's like, well, you just took that into consideration, and there was a whole bunch of other stuff to consider as well that you may be a lot more identified with and to than your sun sign. um and then, yeah, so blah blah blah. So understanding the signs and their place in the cycle. And I feel like the more this is true for me, and so this is why I'm sharing this, because this was true for me, and so maybe it could be true for someone else, yeah. Um Understanding the definition of just, the sign itself allows me to understand the kind of psychological, physical, emotional, spiritual placement that I will have, whether regardless of the planet that this sign is in, is playing out. Okay, so what I mean is, for instance, like if I understand what Aries is, if you tell me that you have an Aries rising, I understand where, because I also understand what the rising sign is, I understand how that's playing out. Because you know what I'm saying? I mean, maybe that's obvious. Maybe that's not something I even need to say, but I don't know. Yeah. So this is why I'm sharing this, because, it's helpful. So if you're interested, of course, no one's making you. Right. So Aries. Aries is and I'm explaining this, the way that I have digested my readings, um, and with my added insights as well. So, yeah, disclaimer. So, I'm not reading off of a book and blah, blah. This is my thought. These are my thoughts, my experiences. So Aries, um, from reading and also, the process of interpreting further after, you learn things, you know what I'm saying? Learning. Right. So Aries is the infant of the zodiac. So Aries is the beginning. Aries is a cardinal sign, and cardinal signs are, that's when we get, okay, when we get a little bit deeper. I mean, it's not that deep, but whatever. We get a little bit deeper into the division of the signs. So, you have the signs divided by their elements. Aries is a fire sign. Aries is a fire sign. I'm trying to cheat for the camera so you can see my hands. Aries is a Aries is a fire sign. It is a cardinal sign, and cardinal signs are the inciting element signs. In storytelling, you have the one that kicks off the story. Aries signs are those signs. So they're the change of the season signs. Like, oh, we're in a new beginning. Boom, let's go off and do new things. So initiate something new, a change. So Aries is that. Aries is the infant. It's the very first. So it's the big bang, you could say. It's the first boom. It's the hello, I'm alive. It's the infant coming out of the babies, wow, ew, coming out of the mama's bah and screaming, because this is how they express their life, their newborn life. I'm here and I want food. I want boob. I want I want food. I want boob. I want YouTube. Give it. Yeah. So yeah. So that's pretty much what Aries is. Aries is the first. So Aries is an energy carries Aries. Aries is an energy carries that synergy. Okay. Okay. Yeah. It carries that energy pattern of an infant, so with that first thing, so there's an impatience to Aries energy. There is an aggressiveness and an aggression to Aries energy. There's this pioneering aspect to Aries energy. They want to be first. They want to be the first, they want to be the first out of the box. They want to be the first to do something. They like to initiate new things all the time. They So with that impatience thing, and with Aries being a cardinal signs are in the part of the cycle. They help begin something new. So cardinal signs are not meant to maintain, which is what fixed signs do, and they're not meant to expand upon and find new ideas and diversify, which is what mutable signs do. Cardinal signs are meant to initiate. So as a result, cardinal signs, so the other cardinal signs are Libra, which is an air sign. Then we have Capricorn, which is I'm missing one. Cancer, which is a water sign. Then we have Libra, which is an air sign. Then we have Capricorn, earth sign. So in each one of these modalities, so the fixed, cardinal, mutable, we call that modalities. In each one of these modalities, I guess I'm also kind of talking about this now, just to explain, whatever. In each one of these modalities, you have a sign from each element. Yeah, great. So Aries is a fire sign. So it's really about, like bursting out, externalizing their energy, their felt expression, their internalized world. Um, and like in that flame way, and it being a cardinal sign, it will go off and it'll just, stop halfway through. It's too impatient to keep on like being like growing, 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 and becoming this like huge fire. It's like I've sparked the flame, I'm out. Sparked the flame, I'm out. So that is, that is one of the energies of Aries. I have a moon in Aries, so this is something that I subconsciously and unconsciously and automatically embody. The moon sign is your internal self. So your sun is your externalization of your internalized world. And your internalized world is, it's who you are, is who you came out just being that, and you're going to develop yourself in this world. And as you develop yourself, you're going to manifest sun energy, which is externalized, and moon energy is internalized. So it's your private world, it's you and your soul. So me and my soul, I have Aries energy, and so I very much relate to that. You want to start something and you want to, it's not even that you necessarily want to stop, it's just like you had another idea and you want to do that. And you had another idea and you want to do that. And with other placements in your chart, maybe that's not what you want to do. Maybe you want to maintain shit, but then you have difficulty managing the different energies. But then, you have to learn, how do I manage this and that, where. And so the more you understand, what planets you have, where this energy is playing out, the more you can come up with the solutions for that particular problem of managing two different parts of yourself that are not playing well together. So yeah, Aries energy is that. Aries energy is also, quite like so back with the infant metaphor, kids, it's a fire sign, and fire signs are bright, fire, they're bright, they're gregarious as in a generalized matter, of course. Yeah, but they still have, their specificities, of course, because they are all fire signs, but they have different modalities. So they play out different parts of the cycle, and they have a different purpose in being a fire. It's like, what kind of fire are you that can, add to the whole, and that, you know what I'm saying? So Aries, gregarious, so gregarious nature, bright, bright, and not just, of like personality, but, bright, of course, of mind. They're curious, so they're just born into the world, and there's a curiosity about what's around you. I mean, of course, there's different types of, infants and toddlers and stuff. Some are like really quiet, they're in the corner, blah blah, but there's still a level of discovery of the world that is a part of being born into the world. And so yeah, our Aries as an energy is curious, it's curious, it's interested in knowledge, it's interested in discovery in this new world that it's in. It's interested in what is new. Yeah. So yeah, so there's, an intelligence with Aries, there's a brightness of mind as well. They can talk, about many different topics because they're interested, they're interested in stuff. Um, yeah. So, okay, yeah. So that's pretty much like Aries. What else did I want to say about Aries? Right. No, I did want to speak about like, right. There's also this aspect of being a newborn and being like an infant of, the sulkiness of it. So Aries has that emotional nature as well. They can be quite sulky, so they can take themselves quite seriously, They're like, they don't like to be made fun of. They can make fun of other people, but then they'll attack if you make fun of them. So as an energy, so not even necessarily saying Aries people, just Aries, the energy manifest in a person. Yeah. So it's an energy that's combative, that can quickly, go back to being fine because, there's new things to do, there's new things to feel, there's new things to express. So Aries as an energy doesn't remain stuck for very long in a sulk, but it will sulk, and it will sulk deeply, but it can, brighten up again. Yeah, so it's, that spark, like choo, choo, yeah, I don't want to talk to you, choo, yeah, the kind of vibe. Yeah, so that's kind of Aries energy. So it's the beginning, it's that infant. And then so it's that, yeah, let's just table it there. Then we move on to Taurus energy. And Taurus energy is now the in this evolution of the cycle. So we were the infant, and now we are starting to. So we were the infant, and we were externalizing ourselves quite like brashly in order um to what is the word, to our space, to own our space and to make our presence felt and known in this new world in order to survive. Now we are at a state where we're starting to have understanding of why we're screaming. We start to have sensitive awareness, sensitive and sensory awareness. So we start to understand the different senses, feeling, touching. Well, feeling is touching, tasting, smelling, seeing, hearing. And I would also argue that the sixth sense is a part of this. Absolutely. Just having kind of like an awareness of of still quite a physical awareness. It's still quite physical. This stage in our development, at first it was just unstable, but all right. um are you hanging in there? I don't know if there's really a person here, or if this is a thing that YouTube does where they just put like one person, so you kind of feel like you have someone. um but let's keep going. Okay. So, Taurus, yeah, Taurus is really very much about the physical world and really coming into awareness of the fact that you are living in a physical world where you process things through these senses, you gain information through these senses. And this physical world is an earthly world. Taurus is an earth sign. Taurus is the first fixed sign. So you start to become grounded in your physical presence and those different sensory inputs. So you start to realize that food tastes good and certain sounds sound better to you. You start to develop the textures that you start to understand what you're feeling and the textures of them. Start to understand what you're seeing and create, have those imprints that of those what do you call it, of those visual images playing out in front of you. um so it's very much so this is kind of what Taurus energy embodies. So I'm speaking in a metaphorical sense. I'm not saying that you were born in Aries, then you became a Taurus. It's just that those cycles of life carry that energetic imprint. Right. So I keep looking at this picture that's in my eye line. Yeah. Right. So Taurus energy, like I said, is very physical. It's those things, and it is a sign that appreciates the practical, the earthly, because we live in a practical, physical world, and it's only through understanding what will what will be fruitful to your physical self that you will find peace and comfort. So Taurus enjoys peace and comfort because it has that deep connection to the senses and the physical. And the more your physical self is at ease, the more your spiritual self is at peace. And yeah, so in that practical way, Taurus is an energy that enjoys routine because routine ensures comfort, it ensures trust, and the physical world is a world that you can trust. You know what I'm saying? It's like the physical world can be counted and it can be counted on. It's not woo woo in the air. You can trust it, and you know that X plus Y equals Z or Z. And there's no two ways about it. No one can argue with it unless they're completely off the rocker, which is what Taurus energy essentially understands and embodies and plays out in its manifestation of itself. So yes, it is that trusting your senses, the practicality of things. Can be stubborn because you want to maintain the routine that you've created because it's given you that comfort and that peace, and you want to stick to what you know because again it's giving you that comfort and that peace. It gives your vessel, your physical vessel, that comfort and that peace. And so fuck what you want me to change my mind towards. Taurus is fixed in its practical ways, in its practical rituals, and it's how it sees things. So it sees things in a very practical manner. Emotionally speaking, Taurus as an energy is somewhat emotionally balanced because it doesn't fret beyond the practical. If they can't do anything about it, if they can't practically act upon it, they're not going to worry about it, you know? So there's that aspect. There's a certain emotional peace, because they know to focus their energy towards the practical, which is what will which is what your vessel speaks. Your vessel speaks the practical, as wonderful, as necessary as it is to have spiritual and intellectual awareness. All of that plays out through a body that is in the physical realm, and so the more you have that down, the better off you are in a certain sense, phys- uh, uh, in terms of peace and internal balance. So on a practical level, Tauruses are quite it is a materialistic energy. It is yeah, it enjoys what it can, count on, touch, feel, hear, see, taste, smell, not what it'll imagine, what is here in my hands, in my eye line, what's here now. That's what I care about. That's what Taurus energy cares about. They're not going to stretch their minds to something that they don't, blah, blah. Which is not to say that they don't have imagination. So Taurus energy, because of this need for balance, there's and if we blah blah, if we're kind of going off on with the development from being an infant and starting to now come into your physical experience of things, you have a pure and fresh, balanced view of balanced and what do you call it, like non-judgmental, very practical view of what you're seeing, and you're capturing the beauty and the balance of what's around you. So Taurus energy is quite artistic. I mean, so is Aries energy. Every energy has its artistic nature to an extent. But yeah, Taurus energy is artistic, and is more that artistry is physicalized more often, you know. So you'll more often have Taurus energy in painting and fashion and sculpting, like fine arts, which is not to say that you wouldn't have it in acting, for instance. But in terms of the physical aspect of it, that is a very often a way that you see the artistic manifestation of Taurus energy. So yeah, this is essentially Taurus energy. Then we move on to Gemini energy, which is an air sign. Gemini is an air sign. It is a mutable sign. It is the first of the mutable sign. So in the cycle, we have been born into this world and we're a fire sign. Whoa, we're a fire sign. Whoa. Then we go and we start to realize that we have hands, and we can touch, and we can see, and we can smell, and we can taste. We don't want to waste this sense of feeling. Ooh, I like the healing. Mm-hmm. Now I'm hearing my brain start to work. It's realized it can work. Okay, so now pretty much the thoughts start to be enacted in this developmental process and the evolution of the signs of this cycle. The physical world has been activated, and the mental world is expanding upon this sensory awareness, this I'm alive awareness, by starting to, yeah, activate those the mental capacity, and within the mental capacity, the mental faculty rather. So within this Gemini energy, Gemini is ruled by Mercury. I didn't speak about what every sign was ruled before. Okay, so Aries is ruled by the planet Mars. Taurus is ruled by the planet Venus, and Gemini is ruled by the planet Mercury. And so this idea of being ruled is like the energy that it plays out is an energy that is a function that a particular planet has. So the energy that this planet emanates has that function in the energetic dynamics that we are playing out in. Um, right. So, Gemini is ruled by Mercury. It is a communication sign. Gemini is about communication. It is about thinking, ideas, really starting to understand the capacity that you have to think about things and to amass information and to transfer it to others as well through speech. So Gemini energy also speaks, it's talkative energy. It enjoys conversation and debate because it enjoys the transferring of information. So Mercury is the planet that rules Gemini. Mercury, so I guess you could say, no, you could say in Western astrology, Mercury is even a Western astrology name. Um, but it is Hermes. So it is the, what do you call it? It's the messenger. So the messenger is a, agent of communication. So they make sure that information goes from one person to the next. And so Gemini energy is about that. They're about amassing information and, transferring it to the next person. So in that talkative way, Gemini energy uh, is often found, in communication sectors, in writing, in gossip type of shit, in teaching, education, in this transfer of information. Teaching and education, not as much as Sagittarius, but we'll get there. Sagittarius is the opposing sign of Gemini, but I said we'll get there. So anyway, Gemini is about like words and information and ideas and knowledge. So Geminis are, as an energy, it's intelligent, it's clever, it's quick, it's understanding the different tricks that you can do with the mind and how that can play out a particular reality. So an aspect and a downside of Gemini energy is the not just deceptive quality. I mean, yeah, it's deceptive, but straight up lying um, quality, because they're kind of playing with their words, and they're playing with thoughts, and they're playing with information, and just to see how that can manifest, and how that can manifest the best result for them. Just because they're being clever like that. So this is something that's in, oh, sorry, oh, mm, in Gemini energy. But of course, upside, which I already spoke of, intelligence. Great talkers. They're good at debates. They can prefer their ideas over yours, but they're willing to listen to you. They're yeah. So good conversationalists, smart, great at communication. So they're good presenters, they're good writers. So those are great aspects. They're good communicators of energy, and they have great imagination because their mind is discovering, in a way, this is the first immutable sign. So this is a metaphorical understanding that is real, but it's, it's metaphorical, just making that clear again. Right. So they're just discovering the tricks that they can do with the mind. And when you discover something new, I mean, this may not be true of everyone, but very often, you go all out in it. And so it's kind of like that. The very first mutable sign, it has that and it has that capacity to just, have so many ideas and to really weave clever ideas together, because they're really going through that mental labyrinth, like they go off on it. So so this is that Gemini energy is the third. Let me not bring that up in this video. I'm not going to bring it up. Yeah, it's the third sign. It is the evolution from being an infant. We're still in the beginning of the cycle. We're not that far out in life yet, which is so. This is why earlier I said that education, yeah, but not as much as Sagittarius, because Sagittarius is the ninth sign, Gemini is the third. And so it's further along in the cycle, you know what I'm saying? So we're still at the beginning of our life. This is still in a very personal fashion that we're feeling these things. From the first house to the third house, it's still quite personal. It's still kind of about me, um, and my discovery of this new world I've come into. So yeah, so Gemini energy, Taurus energy, Aries energy in the first quarter of the cycle. It's still very internal and personal. It's still very much within your private world. Um, that you're feeling these things and that you're experiencing these things. It's within your personal world. It's your general vicinity world. So with Gemini energy, there's also the energy of the school that you go to and the process of learning, the way that you learn things, the your difficulties or lack thereof in the process of learning, your relationship with those close to you, where your mental capacities were beginning to be fired up with. So uh, Gemini energy has that representation, has that manifestation as well in our siblings, our like neighbors, our this general vicinity that we first inhabit before we spread out into the world, right? So this is pretty much what Gemini is about. That kind of it's still close quarters, it's kind of your neighborhood area. You haven't gone into like the main city yet. You haven't seen what else there is to see yet. We're still in this personal area of the cycle of evolution. And then we go into the fourth house, and boom, bam, still personal, still somewhat personal. The fourth house. Oh, did I say the fourth house? Ooh, forget I said the fourth house. Then we go into Cancer. And Cancer is the fourth sign. Cancer is the fourth sign of the zodiac, and it is the first. I mean, it's not the first, it's the second cardinal sign, but it's the first water sign. And it is the first emotional. Cancer is ruled by the moon, by the way. And so it carries that energy of emotion. So the moon is your emotional nature. It is that, like I said, it's your internal you. It's the you came into the world with before manifesting anything into this world. You were this. And so when you're in non-manifesting mode, whatever, you're just internally you. Maybe that's only when you're when you're in private. Maybe you have a moon that's in an aspect that makes you more expressive of that internal part of yourself. But regardless, when you're just in that, like, I'm not even thinking about what I'm manifesting, blah blah, that's your moon energy. So it's your emotional unconscious self. And Cancer is the sign that plays that out. That yeah, so Cancer is about initiating because it's a cardinal sign. And also shout out to Dolo the Pilot Man, who is a YouTuber, who is also an astrologer. I mean, I'm in the process of becoming an astrologer. I'm an astrologer speaker at this point. Still getting there. Man, I'm thirsty for water. Not this. But I'm thirsty and I'm doing this and I don't feel like I'm going to get it. So shout out to Dolo the Pilot Man for helping me to, like he's very he has wonderful vision. I recognize it. I recognize a lot of definition of things that I understood, and he understands them as well, and he really sees things for what they are, I feel. And he really allowed me to understand. He gave me really great insight into Cancer as a cardinal sign, and Cancer in its cardinal nature and its cardinal way of processing this emotional connection, because water signs with Scorpio and Pisces as well, they're all emotional signs, and their modalities will modify the way that they express this emotional element about them. Water. um, and so with Cancer, it is about initiating ways of processing your emotions, of really coming into awareness with what you're emotionally feeling. And with this continuation of the cycle, of this evolution of the cycle, so we start to understand, with our minds starting to expand a bit, we're starting to understand the emotional impact that the world around us is having, the emotional impact that we feel in relation to our mother. So moon energy and Cancer energy is nurturing energy. It's that emotional nurturing energy. And so the mother is also a manifestation, regardless of who your mom is, um regardless of who you are and who your mom is. Like, that relation that you have to your mother has, this is a Cancerian manifestation here, does that make sense? So the relationship between the mother and the child is a Cancerian manifestation. Yeah. And so it's kind of like this initiating new ways of being able to nurture the needs of the child, nurture the emotional needs of the child, which are bound to change consistently and constantly, because you're growing. You're still going through things very quickly. You're not settled yet into a routine, for the most part. So Cancer energy has, it has a connection to its emotional nature, and it can really hold on, which is kind of ironic. It's initiating new ways of processing your emotions, and cancers are connected with their emotions. Cancer as an energy is quite connected to its emotions. It can burrow in its emotions as well. So, you're fresh off the farm, and you're opening yourself up to understanding your emotional world, and so the crab is the symbol for Cancer, and a metaphor for Cancer. And this is what I'm kind of saying in the sentence. You've just become comfortable coming out and expressing your emotions, and kind of understanding that you have them in relation to people, but then you're hurt, and then you're just like, oh my god, ah, like I just like I felt like, okay, fine, I'm never coming out again, ever. And so there can be that grudge holding quality to ah, 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 okay, so they're giving me that grudge holding quality. Grudge holding, kind of like hurt nursing quality to Cancer energy, because it's like, whoa, like I just played out. Yeah, I'm not doing that again. So yeah, so with this idea of conserving emotions and calculating emotions. So, really understanding how, like, well, I felt this way and I came to you and then you did this and I felt like that. So there's a calculation of events and how these events emotionally played out on you. So this is a part of the manifestation of Cancer energy of, having this understanding, having this knack for accounting and for memory and for memorabilia and nostalgia. It's like it accounts for things and the emotional impact that practical matters have on the emotional body. Um, so above and beyond being nurturing, it's like it uh it also calculates the impact of actions and the emotional impact of actions, and with Cancer being so, connected to emotions, being so rooted in the being so rooted in the emotional core, because that nurturing energy is the emotional core. It's the foundation of the emotional nature. Um, with that connection being so rooted in the expression of Cancer energy, there's this fuck, I forgot what I wanted to say. There's this kind of like, geez, there's a dramatic awareness of emotion and emotional depth. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, there's very strong emotions there. Um, yeah, I forgot what I wanted to say. That was not the entirety of the point that I wanted to make. But okay. Um, are we following? Are we good? Feel free to give a shout, watcher, if you are here, and this is not just YouTube. Feel free to confirm or deny. I will give you 5 seconds, and if in 5 seconds at the end of the sentence I don't see a message, then this is definitely YouTube. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and oh, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh no! Oh, 5, 4, 3. Come on, 2, come on, 1. Oh no. One more time. 5, 4, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 1. Oh no. Okay, it's cool. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it pushing. Keep moving forward. Right. So that's essentially Cancer energy. Let's advance. So yeah, so this emotional world now we started to come into awareness of, and in relation to the world around us, we're now making more of a connection to the world. So our connection to the world is based on the flow of our connection to the world is the emotional nature. Right. And now we're kind of like, okay, we're growing up a bit more, we're evolving in this cycle, we've come into emotional understanding, and we're kind of in a way releasing the weight of this emotional understanding, because now we just kind of want to express this internalized world and really just put it out there and put it out into the world and like fix it out there and be bright and bold. And we have Leo now, the second fire sign, fixed sign, second fixed sign, fire sign. So, unlike Aries, which is a cardinal fire sign who initiates boldness more than maintaining it. So, which is not even to say that Aries energy and someone who has like an Aries sun sign or who has a lot of Aries energy inside of them, it's not to say that they'll just like be bold and then they'll just be like, oh, I'm shy. That's not what I mean. I just mean that the all fire signs have boldness because fire is bold. Fire is bold. So all fire signs have boldness, kind of as the way that they express themselves. Um, but what I mean by an Aries sign will not maintain the boldness. It's just that like they're going off on different waves of bold and different actions and different ventures, different avenues. Fun, new. I mean, new. I mean, fun as well, yeah, but that's fun to them. With Leo, it is fixed. It's fixed. It is a fixed fire. So Leo energy is the fire that will maintain itself. It will maintain, which is why, there's the whole thing of Leos being full of themselves, being attention hungry. And, they really put themselves out there. They're really drama queens. So they really have that boldness and they maintain it. That's like their Leo energy is quite on. It's a serious, it's a fire that means business. I'm like, I'm here and I'm here to stay. I'm boom, and I'm not gonna stop being boom. So this, that's a positive aspect of Leo. A positive aspect of Leo is its endurance, its quality of endurance. It has something that's sparking and it's fire, and it's energetic and it's enthusiastic and it's fun, it's light. Um, but it's also able to ground itself at the same time and maintain itself. So, which is why Leo energy, and shout out to Dolo the Pilot Man, really check him out. Like he has really put thoughts into place for me. I mean, he didn't do it. What he said, thinking, interpreting through my vessel, blah. Yeah. But shout out to him. Yeah. So Aries, which is why, yeah, I was saying Leo energy maintains itself really well. Leos are more prone to keep attention than other fire signs. As much as other fire signs are bold, they're fun, they're gregarious people. Leos are the Leos are ruled by the sun, and the sun is like, let's say it's the source of fire in our solar system. It is the center of our solar system. And so Leo has that quality. It's like, I maintain that fire, yo. I maintain that fire. They are the life of the party. Leo energy is life of the party and it will maintain that. They're known for that. So they're generous with their energy. So there's generosity with Leo energy and generosity. So within this idea of the cycle and the evolution of the cycle, with this generosity of your energy and your expression, we're now at a stage where we are starting to, and this we're teenagers essentially. It's teenager energy. So Leo energy is very much like teenager energy, is associated with that. And it's that point where we started to understand our internal world in our childhood, like coming into awareness that, oh my god, we have an emotional nature that is also in relation to the people and the things and the circumstances around us. And now we're like, I must bitch about it and make a talk show like TikTok, whatever, about it. Like teenager energy comes out. I'm going to put it out there and I'm going to make it there. And teenager energy, it's very similar to what I was saying about, maintaining boldness on an evolutionary level, even like on a societal level. Teenage culture maintains a lot of energy in the world that we live in, and maintains a lot of our pop culture. Yeah, it's this expression, this fixed expression, this like, I'm gonna perform. I'm gonna perform what I feel inside. I'm gonna be out there. I'm gonna show you what is going on inside of this world, and you're going to know it and you're gonna maintain it. It's gonna be a part of where you plumb your energy from. I'm the bold one. I'm the sun, hun. All right. So that is essentially Leo energy. There's a generosity there. There can also be kind of like, well, I'm the one. Well, I'm the one, bitch. So yeah, I'm the one. But not just that. So it's kind of like I'm the one. So it's like, don't try to be brighter than me. Like, I'll support you. I'll give you life because the sun does that. I give you life. It's like, this is pretty much, I'm the one. I give you life. Plum from me. Come, I'll give you because I'm generous with my fire. But then I don't want your fire to be brighter than mine because I'm the one, bitch. I'm the one. So there's that aspect there. So, Leo energy can be very like, can be, like I said, generous and, like, they want to be the hero. They want to be your hero. They want to help you in a way that they can still have, the spotlight. And by being a hero, you can do that. You can do both. You can help and have the spotlight. Wow, let's just be the biggest hero ever, bitch. What? Yeah, bitch. What? Bitch. What? Yeah, let's just be the biggest hero ever, bitch. What? What? Biggest hero, bitch. What? What? Oh, 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 oh. Hero, hero. Oh, 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 oh. Let's just be the biggest hero, bitch. What? Okay. Leo, Leo. Bobo. Leo, Leo. Oh, oh. Message, message. Anticipated. La 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 la. Woo. Okay, stop. Let's keep going. Yeah. So I'm going to get to Virgo and then I'm gonna cut it. Cut it. Yeah. So I'm gonna stop at Virgo. Virgo's the sixth sign. We're gonna go halfway through the signs, halfway through the cycle, and then we're gonna have part two of the cycle with my bicycle. I'm hungry. Yeah, I'm hungry and I want to smudge. I want to smudge. If you catch my drift, I want to smudge. I want to smudge. Yeah. So yeah. So we're gonna advance to our friend Virgo, and that is an earth sign. Ooh, second earth sign, second mutable too. Ooh, we're gonna go. We're gonna go into Virgo. We're gonna go. Into Virgo. You know, we were just saying that Leo was about me expressing my internal world. I'm here. I feel the physical touch. I think I internalize emotion. Now I'm here. Here I am. See me, friend. Leo, Leo. Now I go into Virgo, realizing this world is bigger than me. Oh, I gotta give some service back to it, though. Oh, Virgo. So Virgo is about like, yeah, so now we're expanding more and more out of ourselves and out into the world in this evolution of the cycle. So Leo is me expressing everything that I have felt from the beginning, from Aries through Cancer, now Leo, now having that expression of my internal world. Now my internal world is starting to connect with the external world, and it's understanding that it's part of a whole that requires organization, that requires a meticulous approach, and again, a practical approach and a practical awareness of things. And it requires a day-to-day and a routine awareness of how to place your physical state in the best position in order for everyone's physical state to be in the best position. So the first physical state is Taurus, and then Virgo is about now placing it in the best position by organizing tasks and duties that need to be carried out, the services that you need to give to yourself and to the world in order for you to feel this practical peace, in order for you to know this physical peace, in order And in order for you to have physical peace, you need to have organization, you need structure, and you need to know the details of things. So you really need to understand now the details that come into your relation to the world. So Virgo energy is very detail oriented, it's very task oriented, it is very perfection oriented in an attempt to create this meticulous structure on a day-to-day basis that will contribute to the society that you live in, and well, that will contribute to you finding a holistic sense of your life, you know, a holistic connection to your physical state. And so this whole thing about holistic, you know, is also associated with Virgo energy as well. Its opposing sign is Pisces, and we'll get there. But holistic also connects back with Pisces energy. But now Virgo is physical, so it's the physicalization of it. In order for you to reach that holistic balance in the spiritual world, finding that connection from the physical to the spiritual, you need to have structure laid out in your days. You need to have that structure laid out in the everyday happening of your life, in the small increments that make up the whole. You need to have those small increments organized. And so, like I was saying, Virgo detail oriented, organized, you know, it's like, you know, when you think of those organizing shows, it's very Virgo energy, you know, like when you have the people who have like crazy organized labeled shit, it's Virgo energy. And the thing is, like, to some people, maybe it can be like, oh my God, this is crazy. But like, in a way, it's nice, right? For many, I would think, you know, if you see that kind of thing in restaurants as well, when you see something well organized, you see something very, like, you know, task oriented, you know, it's like, yes, this is efficient. This is efficient as fuck, and it's appreciated. The efficiency is dope, you know. It makes us feel at peace. It makes us feel like this is handled. And so Virgo is a problem solving energy, you know. It's like, let me figure out how to fix the problem by looking at every single compartment of the problem. Let me break it down. Let me, you know, deconstruct it and see how it works, how every single day and every single piece, you know, comes together to make, you know, a nice week. How every day comes together to make a nice week, and every week comes together to make a nice month, and month a year, and year, and blah blah. So there's planning, that's a good part. Planning and list making and task, like I said already, you know, task assigning, that's a big part of what's its face, Virgo energy. And so with that idea of, you know, wanting to have that perfection in order to find that holistic peace, you know, there's also within the way that you treat your physical state, your physical vessel. So you understand that your physical vessel requires a certain routine in order to be in the best position, the especially with a sheer amount of energetic dynamics that you face on a daily basis, is that how are you treating your body? So Virgo energy also is a very, like, you know, very focused on health, you know, very focused on health. And you'll find a lot of like athletic people, and, you know, people who are very much about, you know, keeping it clean, keeping the food clean, keeping it, you know, like, yeah, smoothie, whatever, this helps with my colon, with my blah blah. People who are gung-ho about that, you know, it's very Virgo energy that's playing out. You know, you really want to keep your vessel like pure and like golden. So it's a bit of a there's a certain level of delusion as well to Virgo energy, and so does Pisces energy. It also has that. So with every opposition, so with every duality. So I said earlier that I spoke about, yeah, Mercury, about Gemini and Sagittarius being opposite signs. So that's a duality. So there's 6 different dualities within the zodiac, because two by two by two by two by two, 12 by 2, right? So yeah, and so with each one of the dualities, there's a through line, there's an energetic through line that they both carry, from opposing standpoints, and also different places in the evolutionary cycle. So anyway, and every single place in the evolutionary cycle is necessary and valid, you know. It's not because, for instance, your an energy is expressed at the end of the cycle, that it is the best. There's no best, you know. You need every part of the cycle in order for the cycle to exist. Otherwise, it ain't no cycle. It's not a cycle. So there's nothing that's more important than anything. You know, everything has its place. And we're always, as we progress through life, playing out the cycle. So we're always at one of these stages, and we always need to have an awareness of what we're playing out and the energy and the energetic realm that we're playing in. You know, like, what does this energetic world look like? So I know which way to walk and blah, blah. Energetically, physically, emotionally, you know, all this shit is energetically, ultimately. Enough of the adverbs. Enough of the ad about the adverbs. Enough of the ads. Adverbs. Okay. Yeah. So you're right. So this is kind of a delusional aspect of Virgo. This you know, the constant need for perfection and purity. You know, you cannot, there's no absolute, there's no absolute there. You know, you can plan as much as you can do as many of the tasks as you can go through the details as you can. Sometimes things will fuck up and blah blah, and so there's a difficulty to accept that some things are beyond your control, because you try because Virgo energy tries, and it is efficient energy. But you know, you're not taking every single thing into consideration. Life is not just about the task orientation and the detail, and so because that's not a part of the expression of the sign, there's, you know, there's an internalization of that, and like, I'm broken, I'm the problem, I'm imperfect, I suck, blah blah blah. So there's a lot of self-deprecation and doubt with Virgo energy. Yeah, there's also a lot of there's a lot of criticism, self-criticism, but also criticism towards others. You know, being like, okay, well, you should do it this way because I've broken it down in my mind, and this is not the way to do it, because problem solvers. Then they can also try to fix a problem that's not there. So again, this delusional aspect, um, you know, because of the mutable nature of Virgo. So there's this, you know, awareness of the diversification of things, of how else you could be going about structuring your thing and planning your thing and detailing and orienting your tasks in order to have more efficiency. So this is a great job for Virgo energy, you know, having that kind of consulting nature in terms of organization, and detail orientation. And so criticism can be a way that Virgos mean to express, you know, support and encouragement. It's like, because this is what they see, so they'll tell you what they see, and they go, I'm gonna tell you what I see, and I see that this could be done. So do it. So do it. 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 So yeah. So you're coming into the world of so oh, excuse me. In the cycle, in the evolution of the cycle, you know, this is energy of, you know, coming into the working world. You know, it's really the work and the service that you do to serve the benefit of your physical vessel in this space, and your contribution to the space, you know, to the space that's shared with other people as well. So there's, you know, with that purity I spoke of, there's also the cleanliness. Cleanliness of spirit, and cleanliness is next to godliness. Cleanliness is next to godliness. So there's this thing of, you know, I mean, Virgo energy is not, they're not improper, you know what I'm saying? It's like a pretty proper type of energy, because I understand that I'm in a space that has other people and that has a particular functioning, and the more efficient I am, the more efficient the whole will be. So I'm not finna, I'm not finna, I'm not finna be a mess kind of situation. I'm not finna do that is kind of the situation with Virgo. So, you know, they can be, you know, proper. And so there's also the whole criticism of like, okay, well, why ain't you proper? Like, don't you know that, you know, this is not how you present yourself and blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, yeah, aspect of Virgo. Yeah. Uh, but yeah, so in terms of the way that they dress, the way that they behave, you know, it's not the sign that's like, bold in your face, bitch. What you gonna say? Hey, what you gonna play? Hey, yeah, that's not what Virgo's about. Virgo is not like that. Virgo is more like, I need to do this to get there. And this doesn't involve being bold in the face. What you gonna say? Hey, or you gonna call me bae? Hey, don't. Huh? Cause I won't. Don't, cause I won't what? I won't chat. Okay, anyway. Right. So this is right, Virgo energy coming into the world of work and coming into that awareness of duty and service and what that encompasses, and then encompasses this painting. Quality, it encompasses, task orientation and routine building and planning and daily planning and meticulousness and detail orientation and attention to. This is where we are with Virgo. Boo. The six first signs of the zodiac, brought to you by a bitch on crack. I'm kidding, I don't do that, that's whack. I I think that, but whatever you do, you, not for me, boo. Aha, ooh. We're gonna come back with part two. Libra to Pisces, ooh. Okay, thank you so much for watching. If indeed you were watching, watcher, are you real? Are you real? Do you exist? Bye-bye. Thank you so much. Oh, end.